My name is Andy, and this is the most magical podcast on earth. When I'm not on holiday at Walt Disney World, I'm planning a holiday to Disney. And when I'm not planning a holiday to Disney, I'm talking about Disney, with other UK fans like me who make the trip to Orlando and the House of the Mouse. So whether you're a parks professional or a Florida first-timer, this is the podcast for you. Each episode, I'll be chatting to other Disney superfans to share memories of their magical times, answering your Walt Disney World questions, getting you all the latest news from the parks, and finding out what's happening right now in Orlando. So get your ears on as we take you to the most magical place on earth. This is the most magical podcast on earth as part of the Secret Recordings Network, back with brand new episodes every other week, every fortnight. This is our first proper episode of the new year. Hope you enjoyed our first couple of castle reports. This year is the year of the 6 castles. I will be doing them all this year, and I've already done 2. So started the new year in Paris, and just a few weeks ago, the OG castle, Disneyland in California. If you missed that trip report from California and Aulani in Hawaii, well, no, it's like the Disney resort in Hawaii. Have a listen back to our last podcast and the one before that from Paris. We're back with regular podcasts now for the next few weeks, including guests and news and everything you love. So make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast, whether it's Apple or Spotify. Hit that subscribe button because you never know when that next podcast is going to be coming along. And follow us on the socials as well, at PodMagical, be it on X, although I'm doing less on X, or TikTok, trying to do more on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. There's always loads on Instagram as well. PodMagical is where we are. If you would like to be a podcast guest, if you've just come back from Disney World, or you're going to be going soon, let me know. Or if you have any questions, planning questions, give me a shout on there as well. That is exactly what I have had here. This question from Alice, who was looking forward to a trip in just a couple of months' time, going to be going for Easter. Do they do anything different at Disney World for Easter? Well, yes, they do. Busy time of year, Easter, just to let you know. But make sure you look out for all the Easter egg displays. Plenty of those in all the resorts. Have a wander around there. Not like as extravagant as Christmas and the Christmas decorations, but there's loads of decorated Easter eggs around the resorts as well. There's also an Easter parade, they usually do, on Easter Sunday, or maybe across the Easter weekend, actually. Just check up on that at Magic Kingdom. It's more like a pre-parade before the normal parade, a bit of an Easter parade that goes on there. You can meet the Easter Bunny, Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny. They'll be around. You can have photographs with them. Or maybe you want to go to get some Easter snacks. There's Easter snacks around the parks, especially at Grand Floridian, where they have the Grand Cottage. Again, not as extravagant as the gingerbread house over Christmas, but there is a little Easter cottage with some Easter treats like hot cross buns at the Grand Floridian. So lots going on over Easter at Disney World. If you're going to go over Easter, give me a shout. We'll get you on when you get back. We'll get you on the podcast. We'll get you on, Alice. At PodMagical is where we are, and is where you need to go to tell me that you want to come on and talk to me about Disney World, which is what Charlotte did. It is our first podcast guest of the new year of 2025. Yes, Valentine's Day, but we're going to talk probably a lot about Christmas now with Charlotte. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Andy.
So we are going to talk a lot about Christmas?
Yes, we went last December, so lots of Christmas involved.
Right, so we'll talk about that in a bit. But first of all, tell me, tell the listener, why do you love Walt Disney World?
I think, like a lot of people, I grew up on Disney, loved the films. I had a really special connection with the music. And then I think when I first went to Disney World, it's just all of that in an immersive world. And yeah, that I just love being in that bubble.
When you say music, so have you got a particular favorite Disney song or something like that?
Oh, well, I'm a singer.
Right.
So it's always been something that I've loved doing. I love musical theatre, and I think that stemmed from my love for Disney when I was a kid. I think actually the very first song that I remember learning ever was Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid. So
one of my
I've just
favourites.
always been a Disney kid.
So have you got your tickets to go and see Hercules in the West End?
Yes, I actually got them in the pre-sale.
Yes! It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
So that's something to look forward to later on this year. But last time you went, we just mentioned before, was for Christmas. So was it actual Christmas or was it before Christmas, like early December?
So we flew out for 2 weeks on the 30th of November.
Okay.
And I've been
So
told that that's the sweet spot
yes, it is.
after Thanksgiving and before the Christmas rush. And to be honest,
Yes.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I've been 2 times before that at different times of the year, and I could definitely tell the difference.
What kind of years what time of year had you been previously? Had you been for Christmas before?
No, so the first time, so I've been 3 times in total. The first time I went was May, then the second time was September, beginning of October, and then now Christmas.
Now, of the 3 times you've been, would you say Christmas is the best time to go?
I'm a massive Christmas fan anyway, so I'm a bit biased, but yes, absolutely yes.
We'd get along really well because I'm exactly the same. People go, Halloween's the best. I'm saying, no, Christmas, because I went for Christmas. I've been a few
Yeah,
times over Christmas and like Christmas is the best time. But like you say, those first 2 weeks in December, I'm with you. It's spot on because you've missed the Thanksgiving craziness and it's not quite the craziness for Christmas has started up, but you get all the Christmas stuff.
yeah.
Did you do like the Epcot candlelight processional? Because obviously that only starts at Thanksgiving. Did you do all that?
We didn't do it, so we walked past and we heard bits of it going on. I made sure to do a lot of the Festival of the Holidays stuff, but we didn't actually see Candlelight Processional, unfortunately.
Ah,
But we
excuse
did
to
go
go
to
back
the
then.
Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party, so we got involved in the Christmas stuff with that.
So you did all the parade and the fireworks, minis fireworks? What are they
Yeah,
called? Yeah.
that was just so magical. Loved it. Just top tier for me. Christmas and Disney in the most magical place on earth. Yeah, the best.
It is like a collision of everything, isn't it? And then you get the snow on Main Street, you get the gingerbread houses and the
Yeah.
resorts.
I went with my boyfriend last time, and the previous times I'd been with my family, and he'd never been, and he's become a Disney convert. But at the time, me walking onto Main Street and it's snowing and all of that, I think he looked at me like I was a crazy person.
No, it is really overwhelming. And did you do the Merry Menagerie over at Animal Kingdom, or
Yes.
did you do Jollywood Nights at Hollywood Studios? Did you risk
No, I
that?
didn't. I didn't. But I've heard all the stuff about it since I've come back. So next time I go at Christmas, I think I'll definitely be paying that a visit.
So will your next trip be a Christmas trip?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
We'll
And
have to wait and
I'm
see.
thinking maybe because I know that the end of August is quite a good time to go as well. And I actually really like the Florida heat. So
Yeah.
I was a little bit disappointed when it wasn't actually that hot last time I went. So, and obviously it's a lot quieter as well. So I was thinking maybe end of August for the next one.
Yeah, because as soon as the American schools are gone back at the very end of August, especially if you have to have UK school holidays off, end of August is pretty good as well. But then you're into Halloween, so maybe you could experience Halloween for a change.
Yeah. Well, last time I went with my family, it was Halloween stuff all around, but we didn't actually do the Halloween party. So I think I'd definitely like to see what that's like as well.
Yeah, take that one off. So let's go back. When was the very first time you went to Walt Disney World then, Charlotte?
So that was May 2013.
And what do you remember about that trip?
I remember quite a lot, to be fair. I mean, I was 12. Um, so I met, but it kind of merges with the second trip as well. So it's like I don't really know what bits I remember, but I do remember turning the corner and seeing the castle for the very first time. I remember
Yeah.
the boat journey that we got from the TTC, seeing the castle when we were going round, and yeah, that was just so magical.
How can I ask how old you were for that first time?
I I was 12. I was 12.
Yes. So were you like dressing as a princesses and all that?
No, Do you know what? Me and my sisters had matching outfits for that first day. I don't know what it was. I think my mum had been to the next sales and got us all. So my sisters are both younger than me, so she got us all in matching play suits for that first day. I think I was just out of the princess stage, but my youngest sister definitely was. I think she would have been 4 at the time.
Oh, right, yeah. She'd have been really dressed up, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
But if you were out of the princess stage then, on your most recent trip at Christmas, were you back into the princess stage as a grown-up?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I had Mickey T-shirts and princess T-shirts all over the show. Yeah.
Got to go the whole hog now, haven't you? What you missed that as a kid. Didn't want to do it as a kid, but now as an adult, I'm well up for it.
Yeah.
So, of the times that you've been, have you got a particular favourite Disney World memory?
I have a couple, if that's okay.
Yeah.
From my most recent trip with my boyfriend, when we went to see the characters, they got really, really excited about some of the stuff that we had with us. So when we went to see Mickey and Minnie, I actually had a Mickey painted on my nails. And I was showing them, and they just were so excited. They were grabbing the cast members to come look. They were just absolutely loving it. And the same when we went to see Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. We had a little Winnie the Pooh with a Santa hat on. It was like a key ring on one of our bags. And they were just absolutely obsessed. Tigger actually went in a little bit of a strop because we didn't have one of him. I think them kind of interactions are the best.
They do love that. It's like if you go and see Donald Duck and you've got a Mickey Mouse T-shirt on, he will go absolutely wild.
Yeah.
What were your other memories that you remember?
So my favourite memory was when it was our very last day, our very last evening, and we were saying goodbye to the castle, and we were going into some of the shops on Main Street. I think we were in the Emporium, and we had planned to get a puppy this year. And when we were there, she actually wasn't even born yet, but we already knew what kind of dog, what colour, and we knew that she was going to be called Nala. And as we were about to leave for the last time, we turned and saw the machine that had the dog tags where you can get them engraved.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it before.
I
didn't see it before. But so we decided to get one then with our names and numbers on. And we got some photos with the photo pass with it in front of the castle. I just thought that was really special because she's a Disney dog anyway.
Yeah.
And her tag is all the way from Disney World.
Wow, that's cute. And now she got all the Disney stuff as well now.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually a company that came out with a Lion King collection for the anniversary this year. So she's got like a harness that's got Nala all over it and things like that. So, yeah, she's got it all.
She's another Disney princess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back with Charlotte in just a moment. Let me give you a quick update on all the news from Walt Disney World. It's been Super Bowl week after last weekend's Super Bowl. I can't remember who won. I know it wasn't the Taylor Swift team. But anyway, the team that did win, they went to Disney World on Monday. And also, during the Super Bowl, did you see the advert, the commercial for the new live-action Stitch movie, which is brilliant. Other news from the parks then, there's a new manatee at Epcot. They have been closed for quite a while. The old manatees that were there under the seas, they like Little Joe, they've been there for quite a while. Well, they've gone now, and there's going to be a lot of manatees coming and going. It's going to be more of a rescue centre, but new manatees have arrived at Epcot, and you'll probably know over at Animal Kingdom, talking about babies and new animals, there's a new tiger cub in town. Baxo is, well, causing big queues over at Animal Kingdom to go and see him. He's so cute. Obviously, he's an animal, he's a little baby, and he seems very intrigued with visitors. No, they can't guarantee that he's going to be there all the time, but people are very excited to see him. And big queues for an area that really doesn't usually get that busy, but he's drawing them in. Also, over at Animal Kingdom, Tough to Be a Bug underneath the Tree of Life. That's going to be closing in a few weeks' time. The 17th of March, it closes its doors for the final time. The 3D movie that pokes you in the back and scares the living daylights out of you will be replaced by Zootopia, which will be in winter 2025. Does that mean the end of the year? I don't know. A bit nondescript on that one. Also talking about closures over at Boardwalk, Jelly Rolls, the Dueling Pianos bar have announced that they will be closing. They've been there for like 30 years entertaining the adults on Boardwalk. That's always been a fun night out. I don't know where they're moving to. Maybe they'll stay at Disney. It would be great to see them at Disney Springs. That would be a great location. Maybe they're moving off-site. We'll have to wait and see. Over at Disney Springs, my favourite restaurant has got some new items. Homecomin, Chef Art Smith's Homecomin. It's got some new brunch items. There is more news about the Flower and Garden Festival. Flower and Garden Festival at Epcot starts soon, actually, 5th of March. Along with that, the Garden Rocks have announced their lineup on the America Pavilion. You can see live music from the likes of Air Supply, Peter Noon and Herman's Hermits. Taylor Dane will be there over the months of the Flower and Garden Festival. And there's more Muppets merch at Hollywood Studios. As we know, it's got to be all change for Muppets at Hollywood Studios. Muppetvision 3D are going to be closing its doors. And then soon, hopefully, we'll get to see Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem taking over RockNRollercoaster down the road, down Sunset Boulevard. But there's a lot of Muppets merchandise. They know that people love the Muppets, so we will lose Muppets at Hollywood Studios for a while. Mama Melrose is going to be going as well, and Pizza Rizzo, as that gets completely refurbed into the new Monsters Inc. land. So for a while, we will have no Muppets at Hollywood Studios, but there's plenty of Muppets merch at the minute. And away from Disney World, one final story to let you know about is that cruises for 2026 from the United Kingdom are now on sale. If you want to cruise with Disney from Southampton, the schedules are pretty much like they always have been. There's the France and Spain cruises, there's the Norwegian Fjords, there's the British Isles cruise as well. But it will be the Dream that will be back in the UK next year. Obviously, the Dream was here last year. This year, we've got the Fantasy. So if you fancy the Fantasy, if you've never been on that one, then do take advantage of that, because the Dream will be coming back next year for Southampton sailings, and they are on sale now. Any more news from Disney or Disney World? Follow us on the socials at PodMagical. We've got Charlotte with us on this episode of the podcast. I'm going to ask you very soon about your ultimate Disney World day. You can talk us through that in a bit, but let's find out about some of your favourite Disney stuff. We've talked about your first time. We've talked about your last time being Christmas. Let's talk about some of your favourite places to stay. Do you like to stay on resort, on site at Disney hotels, or do you prefer to stay off site?
So I've actually never stayed on site. I'd really like to. And definitely, we've said already that next time 100% will be on site.
Yeah.
The first 2 times we were in villas with my family, and then we stayed just in a hotel on iDrive, and we just got Ubers everywhere, which was really convenient. But yeah, definitely 100% next time we'll be on site.
Have you got your eye on any particular hotels that you'd like to stay at on Disney?
I think at the moment we're saying Pop Century,
Yeah.
but I would kind of maybe closer to the time I'd like to look at maybe doing Port Orleans instead. But we'll see how much money we can save for that.
Exactly. Check the deals, check the offers. Where do you fly from, and who do you like to fly with?
Well, this is a bit of a dangerous question, because we actually had a really bad experience.
Oh, talk me through it. I love a bad experience. This podcast is for learning.
I'm from up north, but I actually live down south. So the first 2 times we went from Manchester, but last year we went from Gatwick, and we went with British Airways, and we were delayed. I think it was like 5 hours in the end, something like that. Yeah.
Is that going out to Orlando?
Going out, yeah. We were in the airport waiting quite a while. And then on the way back, our flight actually got cancelled. We did get a bit of notice. We were actually in the queue for Jingle Cruise, as it is at Christmas at the time, 24 hours before our flight, so we could just choose a different one. So that wasn't too bad, and we did get reimbursed for that as well.
So what happened there? Did you go have another day at Disney, or how did that work out? When did you end up coming back?
So there were some flights that were a similar time, so we did end up being okay. I think it was only something like a couple hours later.
Okay.
Because we had to be back for other stuff. Otherwise, I would have absolutely loved to go to the park for another day.
Yeah, especially if they pay for the hotel or anything. Like, another day at Disney. Go on then. Why not?
Yeah.
So we talked about hotels. Let's talk about attractions. Favorite attractions at Disney World?
I think my favorite has to be Flight of Passage. There's just
Yeah.
something about that ride. It's the one that I tell everyone about that hasn't been to Disney before. People that don't really get it, I usually explain that whole ride and how it works to them to just blow people's minds.
Do
It
they
blew
look at
my
you
mind.
funny when you go, and you can feel it breathing between your thighs?
Yeah,
You're like,
that's
what?
exactly what I say. I'm like, it's like you're on a horse or something. Like if you've ever ridden a horse, it's literally like that.
If you've ever ridden a horse with 3D glasses on, going through
Yeah.
like a bit of an underground luminescent forest, and then you go through the ocean, it's just like that.
With a sprinkle of water on you.
Yeah. And you can smell it as well. Any other particular favourite rides, or is that the big one?
I think that's definitely the big one. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of some others that are a close second. Expedition Everest. I love all the coasters, so I really love Expedition Everest. I really love in Magic Kingdom as well, Mickey's PhilharMagic.
Yeah, I
That's
do
just
love that.
it's always one that I have to get done, and yeah, I really love it. I think it's the
Although
music. It's the
it is the
music again.
music. I do think, though, it should be called Donald's PhilharMagic because he's actually the main star
True.
of that attraction.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Is there anything that they used to have that they no longer have that you miss, or you've been pretty much happy with everything?
I think it's some of the stuff that they had in Hollywood Studios the first time that I went. They used to do the car stunt show, and I
Oh,
think I
yeah.
remember.
Which I was going to say they still have that in Paris, but they don't have it in Paris anymore either now, do they?
Yeah, I have vivid memories of the first time I went of Lightning McQueen coming out at the end, like one of the real cars that had been dressed up as Lightning McQueen, and that was just brilliant. And my boyfriend's really big into cars as well, so that would have been brilliant to take him to. But yeah, I think that's a bit of a shame that they don't really have the stunt side of things as much anymore. But that's about it, really.
Yeah. And do you venture out of Disney World? Do you go to anywhere else in Orlando, in Florida? Any other theme parks or any other parts of Orlando?
Yeah, so I've always done Universal. I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I love all that stuff. And Universal is really good. It's giving Disney a bit of a run for its money at the minute, but
Well,
you know.
especially with the new park that opens in a few
Yeah.
months.
We used to do SeaWorld, but I don't really think I would do that again. Maybe in the future, because I know my boyfriend loves the coasters, so maybe
Yeah.
do the big coasters there. But I didn't go back the third time. And actually, on the trip that we did last year, we did a day in Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't hire a car, but I actually hired a car for the day. Using an app called Turo, if you've ever heard of it. It's
Never heard of it.
Turo, and it's basically Airbnb for cars. So you're
Wow.
renting someone else's car.
So it's
Um,
like some random American, and you just turn up and you go,
yeah,
"Can I use your car for the day?" And that's how it works.
yeah. So I
Oh, okay.
pre-booked it months in advance. Spoke to
Yeah.
the guy about it because it was a bit of a surprise for my boyfriend. It was
Yeah.
a proper American muscle car, so he got to drive that for the day, which he was buzzing
Got to.
about.
Yeah.
And we went to see the ice hockey in Tampa.
Oh, right. Was that a cool experience?
Yeah, it was so good. I think next time we said that even if we go other places in America, I think we'd always want to try and go to a hockey game. It was just, yeah, it was so much fun.
And what about food at Disney World? Are you a bit of a Disney foodie? And would you like to go?
It's funny because when I went with my family, because we stayed off site and just, I think in general, we just tried to keep the costs down as much as possible. We're a family of seven, including my grandparents going. So we didn't do any sort of big sit down meals and things like that. And it's only when I was doing my own research for my trip, I realized how much there was to Disney food. And
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, I need to get into this. I need to do it. So I made sure that I had some places booked. I did Chef Art Smith's Homecomin
You know, it's
on
my
your
favourite.
recommendation, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
um, and I did Sonar as well, which I absolutely loved. The bread service is as good as they say. And we had one of the curries that was really nice. And we did Ohana's. That was the other one.
Did you do dinner, or was it the character breakfast at
It
Ohana?
was the character breakfast. That was another thing where I was like, we couldn't do it when I was younger. I've got my own money now. I'm gonna do Disney my way.
Yeah. It's quite nice to have those little splurges. You can't do a sit-down dinner every single day. I mean, even if you're on the dining plan, it's still a lot. But
Yeah.
again, you've got a budget, but like having a few throughout your trip to look forward to, I think is definitely a good thing.
Yeah, we really liked doing it that way, I think. And
Yeah.
we actually found that we didn't really eat a lot in the day anyway, even though it wasn't that hot. It was still just, I don't know whether it was the jet lag or whatever. We didn't really have the same
Yeah.
appetite.
Yeah, I find sometimes it will be 2 meals, but a lot of snacking.
Yeah, and lots of snacking, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why I don't eat a lot of meals. It's because I'm constantly snacking.
I'm very big into the popcorn in Disney.
Oh.
I really love that, and I actually got some of the microwave version from Walmart. The brand, if anyone wants to know the secret, and I say secret, it's called Pop Secret.
Pop Secret.
Yeah, and you can get it from Walmart, you can get it from Target, anywhere like that, and that is what they use in Disney. It doesn't taste exactly the same. I think they put a bit of
scratches the itch
in and stuff, but yes, it does.
Right, save more space in your suitcase for that on your return.
Yeah.
Okay, Charlotte, here it is. Here is your ideal day at Disney World. Not your only day, but if you're having your perfect day, you're planning it out, what would you be doing?
Okay, I've given this a lot of thought.
Good.
So, I would be waking up at Animal Kingdom Lodge with a savannah view. I would spend a little bit of time on the balcony. I get up really, really early to spend a bit of time on the balcony with a cup of tea, watching the animals go by. And then I would grab some Mickey waffles to go, and I would head to Animal Kingdom because it opens first. I would ride Flight of Passage and Expedition Everest.
Your favourites?
And then, yes, and then I would watch the first showing of Festival of the Lion King because I absolutely love that show. Then I would travel to Epcot, probably by minivan.
Oh, she's splashing out. Why not?
I would ride Guardians and Soarin', and I would have lunch in the Mexico Pavilion with a frozen margarita.
Oh.
Saunter around World Showcase for a little bit until I get to the International Gateway and get the Skyliner to Hollywood Studios. I would ride Tower of Terror and Mickey and Minnie's, and then I would minivan to the PTC to get the boat to Magic Kingdom because I just love arriving in Magic Kingdom by boat.
It has to be the ferry. Yeah, it has to be the ferry,
yeah. I would ride Tron and Pirates, and we would stop for a snack at the spring roll cart.
Cheeseburger spring rolls?
Yeah, cheeseburger and the pizza ones. Yeah, they are so good. And then I would finish the day with Happily Ever After, grab some popcorn, and I would probably check into the Grand Floridian after that, and then sit on the balcony. Yeah.
What a day. What an absolute day. So have you got any thoughts about when you might be going back again?
So not to Walt Disney World just yet. So I'm hoping next year we're going to do Paris.
Yeah.
Because I haven't actually been to Paris since I was 5. So I have genuinely no memories of Paris. So I'm really excited to see what that's like.
Yeah, and they've got all the new things there now. There's like new parades, and then there's the new nighttime experience that they've with drones and stuff.
I know a few people that have been in the past year or so, and I've been seeing their videos and hearing their stories of all the nighttime stuff that they have, and I'm really excited to see it.
Well, that'll be fun. I'll scratch the Disney itch, and then obviously there's a lot of other stuff going on there as well.
We're planning to go to Disneyland actually in 2026. We're hopefully doing with my family. We're hopefully doing a big California road trip and Vegas and things like that. And I've already said that the itinerary has to include at least 2 days at Disneyland.
2, if not 3, just to make sure you get everything done.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've got it all planned out.
Yes. I'm a
For
big
sure.
planner, to be honest. So yeah.
Get that spreadsheet on the go already.
Yeah.
Lovely chatting to you on the podcast, Charlotte, and have a magical day.
Thank you. You too.
If, like Charlotte, you would like to come onto the podcast and talk all things Disney World, then get in touch at Pod Magical. Send me a DM and we'll sort out a time. We'll get you recorded. Do you know what? It doesn't matter if you've not been for years. We've got plenty to talk about. You've got memories, you've got stories, you've got favourite rides and restaurants. Let me know. Let's share them on the podcast at Pod Magical. Give me a shout and we'll sort out time to record you, get you on the podcast. If you're going to be going soon, don't forget to tag us in all your posts at Pod Magical, especially on Instagram. Festival of the Arts continues over at Epcot, including the Broadway live sessions. That's until the 24th of February, so only a week and a bit left of Festival of the Arts. It's the shortest festival of the year, I think, or maybe Christmas is a little bit shorter. Mardi Gras has already started over at Universal with the Mardi Gras floats and the parade and the beads and live music every weekend with Kool and the Gang this weekend. Weather-wise in Orlando, still pretty chilly overnight. Temperatures like 4 and 5 degrees at night. So if you are going to be staying out late, sitting waiting for Fantasmic, you're probably going to need a jacket, I would say, at night. It is warm during the day in the sunshine, mid to high 20s during the day, but yeah, a little bit nippy at night. Pound to dollar at the time of recording this podcast was about 1.24. There's not been a lot of change in that. And I have a tip for you. I like to end the episode on a tip. Here is a tip. This is really mostly going to be for adults. If you want to save a little bit of money on food and maybe a drink, check out all the happy hours at Disney Springs. Plenty of places at Disney Springs, mostly during the week and mostly during late afternoons. So you're talking between like 3 and 6 in the afternoons during the week. They have happy hours. But it's not just on drinks. It's not just cheap drinks. A lot of them do food as well. I've done the happy hour a few times at STK at Disney Springs. That's really good. Little sliders on there are particularly good. And you get like $10 cocktails. So STK Eats, which is the new place from Maneat, that has got a happy hour. I think they call it something else. I think they call it like the Magic Elephant Hour or something like that. They've got happy hour. House of Blues, Haleo. Edison have just started doing happy hours down there as well. So check out the happy hours at Disney Springs. It's not just for drinks. They got happy hour deals on food as well. There's your top tip for this episode. Don't forget to follow us on the podcast at PodMagical on the socials. Please, I know I say this at the end of every episode, but if you could give us a little review wherever you're listening, if you could give us a review on Facebook, that'd be great. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, if you could just leave a review or just hit 5 stars. We haven't done this for a while, but it does just boost it and it just helps people find. If they're looking for Disney World podcasts and they can't find it, then it just pushes it out there a little bit. So thank you if you've done it. If you've not, if you could give us 5 stars, that'd be brilliant. And don't forget to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, and it just means when there's a new podcast, you don't need to go looking for it. It'll just be there. It'll just arrive. You can set it to automatic download, and I'll be there talking Disney World forever. And until the next time, please stand clear of the doors.